All right. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC on a macro view. We'll take a look at BTC in terms of Elliott Wave and what type of price action we could uh, we could anticipate over the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group or the Discord. You know, public group link in the description and all that good stuff. We got Iceman in the house, Tails in the house, Boogie is in the house, a quiet cook in the house, cooking it cleanly. Clay in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. So, guys, we will basically just be focusing on the higher time frame, not like BTC dumping and pumping all that good stuff, right? But we will focus on the directional move for the next like a few weeks or even like a few months, all right? So regarding the macro targets and all that good stuff, right? So let me know if the sound is good before we drop the good stuff and the combo like Iceman. So I guess the sound is good, right? So first thing first, okay, before we talk about the next breakout and all that good stuff, right? So let's just review what we said back in November 2020 and all that good stuff, right? So if you guys recall back in October actually, okay, October 2020, after we broke out to the upside right here, just about 11 12k, what we said was like we're going to be pushing all the way up to a 41, right, to 44k area. Okay, and the reason for that was nothing but our Elliott Wave, our understanding of Elliott Wave and all that good stuff, and what type of price projection we could have been could have basically anticipated and all that good stuff, right? So what happened was right there. If you take a look at it in terms of wave analysis, right? Whenever you get a push to the upside, let's do this. Okay, whenever you get a push to the upside, you're going to get some sort of correction to the downside, and you're going to get your third wave to the upside, right? I will move back in, October, let's say October all the way to April, October 2020, October 2020, April of 2021. That move was our wave 3, right? So basically, the move right here, right, up to a 40k and a 64k, right, was our wave 3. So what we said was like, in order to get to our wave 3 back in October 2020, we said we could be looking for 1.618 extension. Okay, 1.618 extension. So if we just align the moves, right, like that. Okay, so right here was our first wave back in December 2018, and our top was right there, June 2019, right? And our second wave was right here. Our third wave, we were looking for it to be 44, and higher. We got 69 and all that good stuff. And now we're going to be looking for our wave 4. So we got our wave 3 up to a 0.618, and we said we're going to be correcting regarding our wave 4. Okay, so what we're creating right now, it is a correction for our wave 4. But the wave 4 could be very complex. Okay, that's exactly what we said. Once we hit our wave 3, right, we will basically focus on our wave 4. The reason for that is like, if you take a look at wave 1, wave 2 actually, okay, wave 2 right here from like a 14k down to a 5k 4k area, it took like over 9 months. Okay, and if you take a look at wave our wave 4, it is already like, let's say, over 9 months. Okay, almost like a year. So because we picked sometime in April 2021, and it is already like nearly February. Okay, so over 9 months of correction. So these corrections sometimes can take a long time, right? So what we're looking for right now, it is going to be the end of wave 4 right here. So the wave 4, instead of being a simple correction right there, right, we got a complex correction, meaning like instead of getting a a pullback to 30K like that, and pushing all the way up to our next target, we got a very complex correction, something like that. Okay, so that's exactly what we're creating right here. And once we get our the completion of our wave 4, we could be projecting our wave wave 5 to the upside. So everything looks very, very clear and very simple if you take a look at it on the weekly and higher. But if you take a look at it on the daily, 6-hour time frame, 2-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, you might be very stressful and saying like, okay, we're going to be dropping all the way down to like a 10K, like the 10K bear is calling and all that good stuff, right? But as of now, okay, it is a very, very straightforward analysis where we could be looking for BTC to bottom right around like a, anywhere around like a 30K up to a 35. And the reason for that, once again, it is you got multiple way of, you got multiple, flat corrections. Okay. For instance, when you get a push to the upside, you can get, an expanded flat like that, and an expanded flat will break the top, right, and break the bottom. Okay, or you could get a running flat, something like that, where you break the top but you don't break the bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? So most of you guys pretty familiar with a regular flat. A regular flat would be something like that. Okay, you retest like a 65 and you just retest again 30K. So you don't break the top and you don't break the bottom. But since like we broke the top, right, we broke 65 and made a new high, so we can just eliminate the regular flat and expect either a running flat where we going to be breaking out below 30K, or we could, expanded flat where we're going to be breaking out below 30K, or we could just expect a running flat where we do not break out below 30K. Okay, so it is going to be a very, very interesting price level to keep an eye on, right, over the next few weeks and so on. Okay, so now we know exactly BTC on a macro scale, it is still correcting for another potential move all the way up to the fifth wave. So if we want to basically project our fifth wave, okay, there is no way of telling, okay, where we're going to be tapping out based on Elliott wave. Okay, we can just estimate our wave 3. Let's say when we were estimating our wave 3, we said 1.618 extension, if you guys recall, right? 1.618 extension wasn't, we're not saying like 1.618 extension going to be the top, but what we were saying was like 1.618 extension going to be a directional move, meaning like price, okay, will go all the way up to at least, okay, or even higher than basically 1.618. So if you take a look at it right here, we were calling for what, 42 to 44K, right? Guess what? We hit 1.618, but even pump all the way up to 1.786. Okay, so for our wave 5, since like we anticipating a bottom right around like, let's say 30K or higher, right, depending on if we're going to get a flat an expanded flat or a running flat. So we will just say 30K, because we can still get what, an expanded flat and even break below 30K, but we won't basically break out below 30K extensively, right? So so basically to anticipate basically our wave 5, we could either look for 1-to-1 extension, right, of our wave 1 for the wave 5. Okay, let me just explain. So for where you got your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5, right? So for wave 3, right here, right, we said 1.618, right? 1.618, right? So if you take your Fibonacci extension tool, you do a swing low to swing high down to swing low, bang, okay, exactly at 1.618 right here. Okay, so now for the wave 5, okay, you could either do a 1-to-1 extension, that's wave 5, right? We could do 1-to-1 extension, not 1.1, but 1-to-1 extension, right? You can do 1-to-1 extension of wave 1, Okay, remember your wave one was right here, 3K to 14K, right? So if you want to extend it, right, we could be doing something like that. Okay, move it up here, right? So if that's the case, you could be looking for, let's say, 120 extension to be all the way up to like a 130K, right? Or you could do something different. You could be very, very aggressive. Remember, we said 120 extension of what? Of wave one. But you could also do a 120 extension of wave three. Okay, that's your last wave, right? So if you want to extend it to the upside, you take your, you know, your extension tool, swing low to swing high, down to a swing low again, right? 30K. That's going to take us all the way up to like 350K. That's going to be the most aggressive move, okay? So either, if you want to be conservative, we could be looking for 120 extension, could be somewhere around like 130 of wave one, 120 extension of wave one, or 120 extension of wave three. So hopefully it makes sense, right? So that way you can basically be ready for those aggressive move of the next like a few few months and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC based on Fib extension, right? We already know exactly what we're looking for on the macro view, right? To the upside. So if you take a look at BTC in terms of Fib extensions, right? We talked about it back in 2019, since like 2019. What we said was like, if you do a swing low, right, from 0.01 up to basically, let's say $32, down to $2 right here, our first rejection was what? 0.786. If you guys recall back in 2019, we talked about all these, big moves when BTC was right around like, let's say, 4K, 5K. We said 0.786 going to be a very, very crucial Fibonacci, right? So if we repeat the same technique, right, meaning like we do another swing low from like a $2 up to basically 1150, give or take, down to let's say down to 150. What we got right here is what? Another 0.786, meaning like 80% extension of the previous bull market. So the first bull market right here, right, we got 80% of it the next bull market. Okay, and after that, the next bull market, we got another 80% of it, right, all the way up to 20K. So if we want to repeat the process, what we need to do is pretty simple. Okay, 150, right, give or take, up to 20K, right, and down to a 3K. If we want to basically extend it, guess what, guys? Guess what? Okay, 0.786 going to be, give or take, around like 130. Okay, so, and we talked about it, guys. We talked about it like 3 years ago regarding BTC going all the way up to 130K. And we just talked about it also in terms of like Elliott Wave, how we basically could expect our wave 5 to be at least 130K, give or take. Okay, could be even higher, up to basically 300K, depending on the volatility and all that good stuff. So the macro scale BTC, it is still bullish, right? So now let's take a look at the potential bearishness. Okay, the only bearish setup I could basically find regarding BTC on the macro view is like, if and only if the wave we got right here, it is going to be our wave 5. Wave 5 of what? Wave 5 of the entire move, meaning like we got wave 1, wave 2, wave 2, wave 3, and wave 4, and wave 5. Okay, so that's the only bearish setup I can find on the macro view. And the wave we got right here, it is too small, right, to be wave 5. You see what I'm saying? Wave 1, you can see how big it was, nearly like 4x. And wave 3, you can see like it was nearly over like 15x. Okay, nearly, give or take, all right, nearly over 15, 16x. So why wave 5 has to be what? So truncated and be like, let's say, 2x, 1x, something like that, right? right here, just about like 130%. So that's why I'm thinking like the move back up to a 69 was just part of the wave 4 correction. Okay, so I don't think, okay, it is pretty bearish. If 69 was a top, that's going to be pretty bearish. Why it is going to be pretty bearish? Because we could do a swing low down to a, from like a 3k give or take, all the way up to 69, right? And 50%, right? 2.618 pullback, going to be all the way down to like a 14k to a 10k. I know why the 10k bear is calling for like a 10k and all that good stuff. Okay, the only way we could drop all the way down to these levels, right, is like if and only if our move from 30k up to 69 is is going to be our is going to be our wave 5 basically. Okay, hopefully it makes sense. It sounds complicated, but I will make another short video trying to explain it and all that good stuff, right? Hey, what's up, Tyro? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Ice. So, guys, hey, what's up, Cheese? Cheese Wheel? Actually, Cheese Wheel. Cheese Wheel. Wonder Boy in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Wonder. Doom Boy. Wonder Boy used to be Doom Boy. Changes his name to Wonder Boy after BTC broke out above 20k. So, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think like we will basically pump all the way up to 130, 140, or even higher? Or if you're going to be bearish and be with the bears and calling for the 10k and all that good stuff, it doesn't have to drop all the way down to 0.618. Even if 69 was the top, it can still retrace all the way down to like, let's say 21. Okay, 21k. Why 21k? Because 21k, it is it is 0.382. Okay, and why 0.382 is so important? If we go back to the previous bull market, right, not the 2017 but the 2011 up to 2013, if we do a swing low to swing high, right, price action didn't even basically retest the 382. We just got a nice support at 236. Okay, so if we take a look at the recent bull market right here, we only dipped down to like a 382. Okay, only dipped down to like a 382. So the first bull market we pulled back to a 236, not actually the first one, but the 2013, let's say 2013 picked. Okay, we pulled back to a 236. The 2017 picked, right, we pulled back to a 382. So we haven't seen yet a 50% pullback. Okay, we haven't seen yet a 50% pullback. Even if we want to basically say, okay, it can still retest like 14k and all that good stuff, I would just be cautious, right? And do not expect like any lower prices, okay, below 20k, especially below 21. Okay, but I'm bullish. Okay, anything at or below 30k, I'm going to be extremely bullish because we've been right, on BTC over the last few years, right? Since like since like 2018, right, when BTC was at the bottom, right? We called for the move all the way up to 14k and the move down to like a 4 to 5k. After we broke out above 10k, we said 40k and higher. So we just going to stay constant with our strategy on the macro scale. On the lower degree, it doesn't matter, price action will be pumping and dumping 2,000 point, 3,000 point. But on a macro scale, these moves won't come like, let's say, that easy. It could take like a 12-month or even like a 36-month, up to 36 months before we see like, some 400k, 500k BTC, right? We will go down to the monthly 21 EMA. Yes, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about BTC on the low degree, right? Short to medium term, not the hourly and all that good stuff. So if we take a look at BTC on a monthly, so if you've been following the channel long enough, right? We talked about the monthly 2-1 EMA, guys. Even when BTC was at 65K right here, we said if we dump, we will be paying attention to our monthly. Okay, that's why, you know, you don't want to be too bearish when BTC is above the monthly 21. It is close to the monthly. You want to start accumulating. That's why I'm saying at or below 40K in the short to medium term, it is going to be a bull territory. Okay, so if we go back to 2018 right here, after we retested the monthly 21, it took us, guys, nearly 5-6 months before we had dumped below it. If you take a look at it right here, back in 2019, okay, it gave us a similar move, right? It took us nearly, you know, you got 2, 4, 5 months before we broke out below the monthly 21. And right now we're still above the 21 EMA. Okay, we could still retest the monthly 21 and still stay in this range for the entire 2020, 2022. All right, I'm not saying we will, but you know, we could retest the monthly 21 and stay in this range for the, like, you know, for the next, like, you know, few months and all that good stuff. I'm not saying we will, but you know, just something to keep in mind. That way, you're not going to be extremely bearish on BTC. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, right? So on a weekly basis, we got the weekly 200 MA. So on a weekly basis, we got the weekly 200 MA right around 20K. Okay, to be exact, 19.3 as of now. Okay, that's going to be the you know, the macro weekly support. Even though we're saying the move right here, you know, it can still be expanded, right? But we don't want to be dropping all the way down to like the you know, weekly 200 MA. It could be an isolated move, meaning like, you know, if we drop to that level, even though it is going to be a potential bottom, the entire move right here, we won't know if it is going to be, you know, a single wave itself. Instead of being part of the flat correction right here, it could be an isolated wave. Okay, meaning like a very impulsive wave, and we could get another correction and dump lower. All right, I'm not saying we will, but something to basically keep in mind. We got to stay, you know, above like a 20, you know, especially above 21 and all that good stuff, 25K. But we will see. All right. I mean, which I mean, the exchange price, I will, you know, I trust the most. I mean, I would say Coinbase, Binance. I mean, they're all good. Okay, they all give a nice average price. Okay, unless like we get a high volatility and all that good stuff. Sometimes the price difference can be very exaggerated, right? But on average, you know, they're all pretty okay. Right. All right, so guys, I'm just gonna cut it short today. I just wanted to basically give you guys a macro overview regarding the BTC price action and all that good stuff. Okay, that way, you know, we can basically keep up with the macro scale every now and then, instead of basically just paying attention to the daily time frame and all that good stuff. Okay, we got a good strategy on a 3D basis. It is still bearish. We will talk about it, you know, later on, right, in my during my next live stream and all that good stuff. You know, so we will just stay with the downtrend till we get a macro support, and could be looking for our next you know, bull trend all the way up to some crazy prices and all that good stuff. Okay, if you bearish, just be cautious if we break out below 30K, because you know, I just don't have time to talk about it. But if we compare if we compare crypto and Apple, right? Not apple and oranges, but if we compare crypto to Apple, right? So if you take a look at crypto right here versus Apple, right? You can see like right here, what we could get is a nice, flat correction. And if that's the case, right, crypto could basically picked, right? I mean, Apple could pick around, right around like a 2x of crypto total market cap, and we could basically break out to the, to the downside. Okay, meaning like crypto could break out to the upside and Apple could capitulate against crypto. So the chart you're seeing right now, it is the total market cap of Apple, right, versus the total market cap of crypto. Okay, so the ratio it is it picked right around like 1, right, right here. The ratio, right, if you do it a total market cap over Apple market cap, right, as you can see right here, back in 2017, I was paying attention to it, right? I was like, okay, crypto is just about like 800 billion and Apple was 800 billion. Right there, crypto hit, 3 trillion, Apple hit 3 trillion. Crypto hit right here 2.5, Apple hit 2.5. So what I'm looking at right now is like at some point, we will break out against Apple, meaning like if Apple, let's say the total market cap of Apple hits like 4 trillion, okay? So I would expect like at least crypto to be like 2x of that, meaning like we will at some point, okay, break out above this range and hit like a, the ratio of 2 or higher. You see what I'm saying? So right now the ratio, the resistance for the ratio is 1. Okay, the resistance for the ratio is 1, but we will most likely be breaking out over the next like a few years. So it is a good time to be accumulating crypto. If you think like, if you're bullish on Apple, just know crypto will outperform Apple. Okay, so something to keep in mind. I will talk about it in another video and all that good stuff, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.